the United stand. Ollie's surprise signings. In his press conference this morning, he said, "You'll be surprised at the agents contacting me saying their players want to come to Manchester United." Massive, massive statement. Something I really want to delve into tonight. Something I really want to get your opinions on it. Who are these players? What are these players that supposedly will surprise us? Is it going to surprise us, or is it yet another example of the club and the manager really not understanding what actually gets the fans going? Because as I said, if it's Gareth Bale, I'm not surprised. He wants to come to Manchester United because Madrid don't want him. And as I said, he's just swam past the coast of Spain. He's on his way. He wants to come here. It's not a surprise. But before we get into that, I just want to say as well, very interesting poll we ran. We run polls on the United Stand homepage of YouTube. There's a community tab where we post polls in there. There was an exclusive poll for the members, and it was basically along the lines of, remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said this morning that he's in control of transfers, he gets a final say on incomings and outgoings. Basically, we asked the question to our members, do you believe that? And 62% said, 62% said no, they don't believe it's true. And 38%, yes, we do believe Ollie. So the majority think that Ollie's not in control of transfers, which is quite interesting because that would mean he's a liar or he's keeping the truth. And I actually think that he is. Remember, you can join and be a member by clicking the join button. We've also put a little poll in for everybody there, a public poll. I'm wearing the black United Stand FC top today. I wore the red one this morning. We're playing our first competitive game tomorrow against an opposition in purple. You can go to the community tab and vote, and whichever kit gets the most, red or black, we'll wear that tomorrow. Vote red. I want to wear red. Anyway, let's get into this. And I just want to say, look, whoever the surprise signings may be, and there are a few, and as Mike W says, Bale or Kroos, and I think, you know what, I don't think you're far off with those. We'll come back to them in a minute. I just want to say this. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has admitted that, and welcome to James Gillespie, the latest member of the club. It'll flash up if you do join. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that Juan Mata, they're hoping to get him to sign this contract. Right, I'm just going to say this here because I think some people get lost in this. I think some people are lost in their... When people like me say Juan Mata needs to go, I think their love for Mata makes them want to be a part of... what happened to Callum Gribbin, says Roseby. Exactly. If someone in the live comments knows what's happened to Callum Gribbin, it's a good point. I haven't heard about him all season, to be honest with you. And Mark, it's Diaz and Felix for 150 million, says Chloe Jenkins. That doesn't surprise me though, Chloe. We'll come back to that. But let me just finish this point. Juan Mata, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants him to stay for another year. Manchester City are going to win the league again. They're going to win the league for the next 2 years. They've won it for the last 2 years. They'll win the league. They're going to win the FA Cup, and they've won the Carabao Cup, and Spurs sort of pulled off a miracle, stopping them doing a quadruple. Man City this summer are linked with Bruno Fernandes. They are after Ben Chilwell. They might get Wan-Bissaka. They're going to add quality to quality. That's what Man City are going to do. Liverpool are going to try and add quality to quality. We're crap, and we're begging Juan Mata to stay. Now, it's nothing against Juan Mata. He's 31. Anybody with eyes can see that he's on the decline, and we're begging players like that to stay at Manchester United when we're already miles behind. You know, it really is ridiculous what we're doing. It really, really is. It is. It's like that analogy I spoke about before. You know, Man City and Liverpool are bombing off in their Ferraris, and it's the closed season, and they're looking at their engine, they're getting it tweaked, they're putting some more fuel in the car for next season, they're getting some nice new alloys, they're getting the leather kit interior, and they're ready to go for next season. And here we are, Manchester United, in our clapped out Robin Reliance, Del Boy, we're riding along. You know, we've barely made it to the finishing line anyway. What do we do in the summer? We have a look around what we've already got in the car. We're not going to spend any money to fix this or even bin it and start again, which is what we should do. No, we're not selling it for scrap and buying a proper car. What we're going to do is we're going to get bits of chewing gum to fill the holes in, and that's what we're doing. That's what Manchester United are doing. And it's not about Juan Mata. It's not about Phil Jones. It's not about Ashley Young. You can have your own opinions on them. I certainly do. But we're trying to close a gap on big rivals. And them rivals are already very, very good sides. And they're adding quality. Liverpool are competing with Man City. Man City are competing with Liverpool. They're looking at each other. They're going, bloody hell, look at their front three. Right, I need this. Well, they're going to get that. We need this. They're going to get that. And we're like, hello, miles away. You know, hello, remember us. Remember us. And as they get sprinting off, there's old United with their history wobbling along with their bad back and their stick. Hello, we want to be in the race too. No, you're old and crap, sod off. And yet we think we can be in the race If you want to be in the race, be ruthless. If you want to be in the race, be aggressive. Welcome to Mawashawan Prani, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club, and to Rose Isbista as well. Welcome. But yeah, if you want to be in the race, you've got to be in the race. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to be ruthless. And this is one of the things that really irritates me. When I see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying, yeah, we're hoping to get Juan Mata to stay. Why? What has he done this season to make you think he should be here next year's season? Ashley Young, why? What has he done this season that makes you think... Have you not watched United this season? Ander Herrera has come out and said the people to blame for United's bad season are the players. Absolutely bloody spot on. Absolutely exactly. Brilliant. Absolutely spot on from Ander Herrera. He comes out publicly and he says the people responsible for where we are the players. Brilliant. One of the few people coming out and do that. Not got a clothing line, not dancing, just straight to the point. What's happening to Ander Herrera this summer? He's going because we won't pay him any money. And yet he's the one player that comes out and says the players have got to do it themselves. He's the one player who seems to get what United's all about, and we're letting him go. You know, he's one player we should be begging to stay because he's got the right mentality. He's still got some miles left in the tank, and he's a useful player around the squad. He would be a player worth keeping. But Juan Mata, Phil Jones, Ashley Young, all players that we have begged and are begging to stay longer, can nobody at that club see that we are rubbish? We are rubbish and we are miles behind, and it's not bad luck. It's not bad luck. It's not bad luck that Rashford takes free kicks and boots it over the stadium like a beach ball. It's not bad luck that Romelu Lukaku can't hold the ball up. It's not bad luck that Alexis Sanchez is a flop. It's not bad luck that the Chuckle brothers are terrible at the back. It's not bad luck that Ashley Young is one of the worst right-backs in English football, and that goes down to League 2. It's not bad luck that Juan Mata is declining and has lost another yard of pace. It's not bad luck that Matic is static. It's not bad luck that Paul Pogba doesn't perform week in, week out because he hasn't got the quality around him. And yet, we want to retain all this and suddenly think it's all going to change. Like, Juan Mata will be a worse player next year. Ashley Young will be a worse player next year because they're well into their 30s. Phil Jones will always be Phil Jones. And it really frustrates me because I look at Man City, I look at Liverpool, you look at what Chelsea and Arsenal and Spurs will try to do, and they're going to improve on what they've got. What are we going to do? We may well bring signings in, but we're retaining the people that are the problem. And I don't get it. And I don't know why that's a positive bit of news. Oh, we're doing everything we can to keep Juan Mata at the club for another year. He's a brilliant human being. But what has he done this season? He was consistently poor at the start of it. He's continued that. He scored a tap-in against Chelsea and suddenly it's like, yay, let's keep him. I don't agree with it. And I think, you know, United fans, I think they struggle in their head, these people that want these players to stay but then get frustrated when we're not achieving. It's the most simple thing. We are failing because we have a bad squad of players, and we will improve by removing as many of those players as we can away. I mean, literally in that squad that we've got at the moment, I would only keep, happily, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, David De Gea, Ander Herrera, Paul Pogba if he wants to stay, and I would keep Martial and Rashford because I think I would keep those. The rest of them, I'd lose them. So that's 7 out of 24. And I wouldn't lose sleep about anybody else. I really, really wouldn't. There's a few in there that I'm like, meh. 7 players out of 24. And what a surprise. We had the chance to get rid of 4 or 5 of them because they were out of contract. And what do? We give them a new contract. It's really, 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 really weird. Just to bring you a bit of good news though, Bruno Fernandes. Apparently Man City have this deal tied up. Well, Manchester United have spent a lot of time scouting Bruno Fernandes this season. As I said to you, I've been told we're going to sign him this summer. Let's wait and see what happens with that. But there was a story today that Man City are going to get Bruno Fernandes. This has been refuted by Portuguese outlets. Doesn't mean they're not going to get him, but there's been a lot of panic tonight. And actually, to be fair, United Stand Twitter did tweet it as well. But that's, you know, I wouldn't read too much into that at the moment. Ricky916 says 10 years without a title is realistic now. I think it's nailed on, Ricky. I think it's pretty much nailed on, if I'm totally honest with you. We are a retirement home, says I am what I am. You know what? And it irritates me, I am what I am. It really does, because any United fan, or most United fans, can see what needs to be done to improve, to go after Man City and Liverpool. And I think the irritant with me is, the suspicion is that this board, Glazers, they're not interested in spending money. And I think the deep-rooted thing that most of us really know, but we try and find different ways of dressing it up. You know when we're keeping Juan Mata. You know when we're giving Scott McTominay 5-year contracts. You know when we're keeping Phil Jones and Ashley Young. You know what's happening. You know it. You know it, and I'm about to say it. This board don't want to spend money. They just want to keep ticking over, maybe scrape top four the cheapest way possible, because that's why you do those deals. That's why you keep Mata. That's why you give McTominay a long contract, young youth player. That's why you keep Jones. That's why you keep Young. That's why you keep Smalling. That's why you try and keep people like Matic. That's why you do it, because it's cheap. And it's about being cheap. That's what we're doing. Because I'll tell you what, if Pep Guardiola was in charge of this team, it would be thank you, Juan. Let's go and have a bit of paella. It would be bye-bye Phil Jones. Off you go. Don't grab your coat. Off you go. Smalling, off you go. Ashley Young, enjoy your retirement. Matic, piss off. And that's what Pep would do, because he knows those players aren't going to win him a title. And his reputation is going to be based on a title. And that's why he would get rid of them. But we don't have that. We don't have that. And I'm seeing more and more people not believing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he says he's got the final say on transfers, on who stays and who goes. Not believing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he says there's surprise people that you would be really surprised about. There's people starting to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just desperate to get the job, and actually he's a mouthpiece for the Glazers and Woodward, and he's just going to say stuff to protect them because he's so happy he's got the job. I don't believe that, but I'm seeing more and more people say it. We'll have to wait and see. But I've got to be honest with you, I don't feel massively optimistic about the summer and next season, because I keep saying this. Even if we went and signed Ronaldo, which we won't, if you keep Mata, Jones, Young, Smalling, Jones twice, bloody two of them. But if you keep all those players, they ain't playing in the reserves. They're going to play first team football. Young, they'll play first team football, and the problems will continue. They will. But let's talk about what we were talking about at the start of the show, because I really want to get into this. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that Zarika Eder says, why can't we pull our leg out of a sinking sand of aging players? It really does irritate me. But I'd give Ollie till Christmas, says Rowan, and we shouldn't get rid of Mata. We're getting rid of Valencia, Herrera, Darmian, Rojo, maybe De Gea. We cannot replace everyone. Keep him till next summer, in my opinion, says Red J. But Red, I don't... Look, I respect your opinion on that. There's two things I would say. One, I don't think it's about keeping Juan Mata. I think it's about keeping somebody cheap. Two, I think that, I would say again, what has Juan Mata done this season? What has he done that makes you think he's going to do any better next season? He's been crap this year. By his own admission, he'd probably admit that. He's been absolutely crap. People are just remembering that half an hour against Chelsea last week and the tap-in. Actually, he's been really crap. He was crap at the start of the season. Remember against Burnley, he was really crap. In the FA Cup, he was crap. He's been pretty crap all season, but people like him, so they defend him. And, I like him, but I'm not going to hide behind the fact that he's done sod all season, and I don't get why. I mean, all he does is slow us down. All he does is slow us down. And we don't really play with a number 10. And if we are playing with a number 10, what's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually doing? Because he's meant to be a person who plays a 4-3-3 with a high press. Juan Mata can't play in a 4-3-3 with a high press. He's too slow and he's not a winger. So, again, I don't really see a number 10 being a useful option for United anyway. But we're getting way late here. Let's talk about these. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer basically said that when asked about the Europa League, does that impact on his transfers he can make this summer? And he said, you'd be surprised at the agents who are contacting me, telling me that players want to come to Manchester United. So I've compiled a little list here, and I want to get a bit of you lot. Because look, I like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I want him to succeed. Everybody knows that. But when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says you'd be surprised, is he lying? Or is he telling the truth? Or is he naive to what impresses Manchester United fans? Because when he says you'd be surprised what players are basically interested in coming to United this summer, for me, I've got a list of players that would surprise me. And this is the players that excite me, and this is what I think is a United plan. It's not an infinity list, but I would say that Mauro Icardi would surprise me if he wanted to come to Manchester United, and I'd be very excited. I'd be excited by it because I think he's a good player, and it would surprise me because I think there's better clubs who will be in the Champions League that want him. So if his agents contacted us to say that Icardi wants to come, that would surprise me and make me happy. Verratti would be the same. He's a very, very good midfielder. He would be perfect to play alongside Pogba. He's at PSG. I would be very surprised if Mino Raiola has contacted us to say that Verratti would like to come to United. De Ligt would surprise me. Same player again, same agent again, Mino Raiola. De Ligt is probably the best centre-back in the world at the moment. Elect. It would surprise me if he wants to come to Manchester United. Skriniar, Inter Milan centre-back, very happy at Milan, top centre-back. I would be surprised if his agent has contacted us to say he wants to come here. But he is out. He hasn't signed his new contract yet, so that would be a nice surprise. Ruben Diaz at Benfica would surprise me. I think he is very well respected. £51 million release clause. Very young, but a very good leader. That would surprise me as well. And Ndombele would surprise me because he is a very good box-to-box midfielder. He's touted around Europe. A lot of big clubs want him. So I would be surprised if his agent has contacted us to say that he wants to come. And that's my list. That's my list. There's more players and you can start talking in there, but that's the level I'm talking about. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says you'd be surprised at the sort of player that wants to come to United, I'm talking about that sort of player because that's the sort of player that I think would massively improve us, are hungry, would want, and if they want to come to United, it would surprise me because I think I would look at United and go, I want to play for them because it's the club I love. But if I was somebody like De Ligt, I would go, well, why do I want to go to Manchester United? I've just got to a Champions League semi-final at least with Ajax, and I know Barcelona want me, and I know Juventus want me, and I know Man City want me, and they're all going to be challenging for their domestic trophies next year. They're going to probably win their league next year. They're going to be doing well in the Champions League, and I'd probably get into their first team. So why would I want to go to Manchester United over then? So that would surprise me, and it would be a very nice surprise. So when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says you'd be surprised, I start looking at those players that would actually surprise me. The problem is, and Jadon Sancho would surprise me as well, Fraser, I've got to say, because he'd be taking a step down. And that, you know what, that shows you the situation at Manchester United when a Borussia Dortmund player would be taking a step down to come to Manchester United. So it would surprise me, yeah, and it'd be a very nice surprise as well. Ross James says, not surprised if it's Sancho. The reason I didn't put Sancho in there is because I said this morning, Sancho. So for anybody, I'm assuming people watched this morning, and I don't like to repeat what I've said. On the other hand, it would be easy for a good player to get into the starting 11, says JJ. Yeah, but I think the quality... Sancho, yeah. I would say Sancho. Don't sign Bale, he's always injured ninjas. Now, yeah, I want to bring this second list in, right? The players that concern me that Ollie might be talking about, you'd be surprised who wants to come to Manchester United. And then on that list, it's people who are coming to United for money because the club that they're at don't want them. And, it's just going to be another Sanchez scenario where we think we're getting a top-class player, but what we're really getting is a player that's not really as good as they used to. They've used up most of their talent. They're coming towards the end of their career, but they want a nice, juicy paycheck. Tony Bale, Gareth Bale, Toni Kroos, Philippe Coutinho. They're three players I don't want at this club who I think... worst case scenario are the sort of players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are saying, I tell you what, we might be in the Europa League, but you'd be surprised at the agents who are contacting me telling me their players want to come to United. You'd be really surprised if I buy them because they're really good players. Out come Gareth Bale, Toni Kroos, Philippe Coutinho. Yabba dabba doo, it's Alexis Sanchez Mark II. That doesn't surprise me. It makes me want to cry. Yes, their names are very, very good, but come on. They're not the sort of player that United should be signing, and I think it's massively naive if United think that signing players like that will surprise the fans, because you know what? We're not surprised by that anymore. It's exactly the sort of stupid, short-sighted risk signing that we shouldn't be making anymore because we've done it too often. We've done it way too often. So when my concern is, with this whole surprise thing, is it the crap Bale, Kroos, Coutinho stuff that we've done already and fails like Di Maria's and Sanchez's, or actually is it the genuine football thinking fans, which most United fans are, surprise signings like the Icardis, like the Ndombele's, like the Sanchos, like the Verrattis that will genuinely improve us, that are very good signings that would surprise us because you think, wow, they want to come to United, they're really good and they want to come to United. And that's the surprise I want. I don't want the horrible surprise. I don't want the Christmas surprise where you think, oh, yes, wow, I didn't think you could afford to get me a PS4. What a surprise. But the reality is, the real one that we're going to get is, I've got a surprise for you Christmas, you're going to love it, and you open it up, it's a Sega Master System. I didn't think they made them anymore. They were good in their day, but they're shit. And that's what worries me about this. And I suppose it goes back to what we were saying at the start. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, I'm in charge of transfers, I'm in charge of who goes and who comes out, and I asked the members, do they believe that? And 62% said no. I'd be in the 38% that believe yes, because I think we've got to give Ole a chance. But the surprise thing worries me, because it's all about perception, isn't it? What's a surprise? What Ole thinks is a surprise to the United fans to us might be just more of the same shit. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Chloe Jenkins says, do you think the agents are trying to get United involved so the other clubs play more? Well, yeah, Chloe's come out with 2 comments tonight that are absolutely spot on. Just because Jadon Sancho's agent contacts United and says, my client would be interested in coming to you, look, it used to be a case years ago that if Everton were selling a player, they'd contact United and say, you interested? And then they'd also say to Liverpool, not Liverpool, they'd also say to Arsenal, yeah, he's for sale. And then you start a bidding war with Everton, with Arsenal and United, and that benefits Everton because they get more money. Well, these days, an agent of De Ligt could contact United and say he quite fancies coming to you, and then on the quiet he goes to Barcelona and says he fancies you, and Juventus he fancies you. You bid together. Whoever bids the most means more of an agent fee. So yeah, I would hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not that naive to publicly say you'd be surprised at the quality of players that want to come to United and who we're being contacted by their agents, and not realise that we might be being played by those agents. I mean, for me, as I said on the press conference reaction, the middle of August when the season starts, I will remember today. I will remember this. I'm in charge of transfers, who comes in and out, and you'll be surprised who wants to come here. I'll remember this on August the 8th when the season starts and the transfer window closes. I'm going to revisit that statement and say, if he's in charge of that, brilliant or bad, and where's the surprise? Where are the surprises then? Because, you know what? Call me a cynic, but I hope Ollie's going to prove us wrong with these surprises, but I've got a funny feeling that it might actually come down to the fact that their perception of what surprises a United fan is just naive. But we'll see. Why don't we buy Talisca, says Safe Rahman. Well, he wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. I'm still hoping for Lozano. Would love him at United, says Revan. I nearly put him in the surprise list, but then I thought, well, actually, Lozano to Manchester United isn't a surprise. He supports Manchester United. PSV, it's a big step up to United, even where we are now. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I'd like that signing. But that wouldn't surprise me. But I would really like it. Maybe we are signing the Deadwood to contract so we can sell them rather than letting them go. No, that won't happen. Stop it already, Mark. You're putting words in Ollie's mouth. Don't turn the fans against him. You are what's wrong with the club. No patience and faith, just instant gratification like a spoiled kid, says Jarvis Cocker. Get back to singing in your shit band called Pulp, you 2-hit wonder. You're actually, I'm glad I read that comment, because I can only keep saying what I've already said. I back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I want him to do well. I'm hoping he's going to do well. I believe him when he says he's in charge of transfers, and I'm hoping that when he says about surprises, we are going to get surprises. I can't be more clearer than that. You can twist my words all you like, but I've never said that I'm against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I wanted him to get the job. Some people think it was wrong already. I don't. I back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I want him to do well. What I have said is, I can't guarantee it. When we got Mourinho, I thought we were going to win a Premier League title, and I will never guarantee anything again. 1, because I can't, but 2, anything is possible. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could be an absolute disaster. He could be. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, and I do back him. But what isn't in doubt is that United are in a mess, and I don't know what goes on behind scenes at United. I don't know if he's a mouthpiece for the Woodwards, for the Glazers. I don't know if he's naive in saying these things about transfers, and it's because he's new in a big job and he shouldn't be saying these things. I don't know. I trust him. I believe him. Let's see what happens. And like I said, when it comes to August, I will remember today, and we will sit back and we will go, are we happy with what's happened in the transfer window? And are we surprised by what's happened in the transfer window? But what I would say is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can be in charge of who comes in and comes out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can say you're going to be really surprised by the sort of players that want to come here. But if he only gets 70 million, those first 2 points become irrelevant. Because if he only gets 70 million, he can't be judged. Because 70 million is nothing. If he gets 200 million, we can start to look at, has he brought the right sort of players in? We can start to look at, are we surprised by some of those players? But it ultimately comes down to how much money is given by the club. It really does. Is Ollie in charge of transfers because we're not in the top 4, says Smash Hers. I don't know. I would hope he's in charge of transfers because he's the only football brain we've got in that football club that is the most senior football brain. Above Ollie, like above Mourinho, you're talking about board members. So, no. Jonah Jones says, you spend big in key areas, but shouldn't we be looking to play Greenwood and Chong regularly? Worked with Class 92, Ollie and Mike with Fergie, do it again. Jonah, look, I'm a big fan of Mason Greenwood and I hope Heath Chong can develop. But what I always say about Class of 92 is, because I was old enough to witness it, is that the Class of 92 didn't just land on a crap side and make us grow into a treble winning side. The Class of 92 came into a team of leaders. You had Roy Keane, Peter Schmeichel and Eric Cantona, 3 of the best leaders we've had in the last 30 years. So Class of 92 came in and they were very good, but you've got 3 leaders on the pitch there to nurture them. You chuck Greenwood and Chong in, where's the leaders in that team to nurture them? You know, it's a different world. The Class of 92 were amazing. They were amazing, but they did come in and they were nurtured. It's like that famous picture of Cantona on the throne with the Class of 92 around him. They were very good talents, but they also had people there to protect them and nurture them. If United don't learn from the mistake with the Sanchez signing, then I have no hope for this club anymore under this board, says Luke Skywalker. I mean, talking about the Class of 92, please do smash a like on the video, everybody, but talking about the Class of 92, just very quickly, Paul Scholes has come out and spoken about Rio Ferdinand being linked to the sporting director job, and he's sort of come out with what I was saying the other night and what a few of you were saying, and his opinion is that when you look at what Van der Sar's done at Ajax, he went to school, he went to college to learn about the job he's going to do, and he's doing a good job there. Rio Ferdinand is an ex-legend of the club, but where's his background? Where's his studying? Where's his history of doing that job? So why are we appointing somebody like that just on their name? And I think that is basically my stance on Rio Ferdinand, and it would be the same as Paul Scholes as a coach as well. You know, I'd include Paul Scholes has been linked this week as a coach, so I would say the same of Scholes himself. I don't mind ex-players coming in, but can they come in with a bit of bloody homework there? As I said, Rio Ferdinand was going to be a boxer last year, so where's his sporting director thing? That's what concerns me about that, and I think I agree with Paul Scholes on that, I really do. Yeah, but I've got to say that when we talk about the surprise thing, I think it's Gareth Bale, I really do, and it really, 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 really concerns me, because I think Gareth Bale's a terrible signing for Manchester United. There's no future in it, it's short term, he's injury prone, he's expensive. I just don't think it's a good signing for us, but I think it's the sort of signing we seem to be obsessed with, I really do. Icardi is the Dennis Rodman of football, he's useless, says Lupus1444. Mark, just because he said agents, clients want to join doesn't mean if Lozano, it could be Glenn Johnson, all that we know, says Will Brown. It could be. Rio, jobs for the boys but may work out, great attitude, no experience, says Paul Robinson. Ollie is desperate to be in this job and will do whatever the board says Pete Halsey. You see, there you go. There is people saying that. What is your dream team next season, says X Smash Hurts. Somebody asked me this today, and I'm not going to be greedy about this. If I could have 3 signings, and only 3 signings, it would be Koulibaly, Ndombele and Jadon Sancho. And I think you could do that for around 230 million. I know we need a lot more, but they would bring real quality in 3 important areas. We're going to lose Herrera, and I think Ndombele is the best box-to-box you can get for us at this time. We need a dominant centre-back, and I think Koulibaly would be very good in that position. And we need somebody on the right-hand side who's going to excite us, and I think Jadon Sancho would do that. And a lot of people say, why would you get Sancho when you've got Chong? But Sancho's younger than Chong. I think we've wasted Chong already, and I hope he's going to come through, but I think he's wasted a season. I think he should have been on loan. I think Gomez should be on loan as well. I think Twansibi needs to be on loan next season at a Premier League club. I don't see these young lads getting the games that they need. Somebody mentioned the Class of 92. We threw them in. And we just got on with it. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or any United manager, to be fair, is going to throw these young kids in. I don't think they've got the balls to do it. Not like Sir Alex did. And as I said, Sir Alex did it knowing that he's got people like Keane and Cantona and Schmeichel there to protect them. And there were others as well. It wasn't like, there were other experienced players there. I don't think we're ever going to just go chuck Chong in, chuck Gomez in for a run of games. I don't think we'll. I mean, even Scott McTominay that they rate, he doesn't play every week, does he? Play a couple of games and he's not back. He's not in there. There's not that consistency to do it, and I don't think there will be. Chong's not good enough anyway, says Ace. Europa League will help with playing the youth, says Paul Robinson. I don't think it will. I think a lot of people. I remember Arsenal fans saying this last season, Chelsea fans saying it. Oh, let's just play the youth in the Europa League. We said it when we were in it, but actually when the season starts, you don't do it. You don't. And we won't do it. We won't play the youth in the Europa League. We will take it seriously because we will see what Arsenal and Chelsea have done, and it's a way of getting in the Champions League. Because top four is going to be very competitive next year. Arsenal will strengthen, Chelsea will strengthen, Spurs are a good team, Liverpool and Man City have got two of those four positions nailed down. So you're basically 4 teams going for 2 spots. It's very competitive. So why would you ignore the Europa League, which could be another chance? So we won't play youth in the Europa League. We'll take it seriously. So get your Thursday night spared up. Hey Mark, got me United t-shirt. Sorry, hey Mark, got me United stand t-shirt. It's mint, says Stephen Diak. Mint, not mince. Nice one, Stephen. Remember, link in the video description, United stand merch. I'm wearing the away top today. I was wearing the red top this morning. Remember as well, you can go to the community page and vote what kit we wear tomorrow. Our very first proper game tomorrow morning, United stand FC. Goldbridge is starting. It's probably not a good idea at my age, but I thought very first minute, got to be on the pitch. Might not be there on the 3rd minute, but I will be there for the first minute. I think I'm going to be like one of those cheerleaders. Maybe I can kick it off and then just run and sub myself straight away. But yeah, vote red. Vote red. That's what I say. What's the minimum achievement Ollie needs next season to keep his job, says Chris Walker. I mean, it's a very good question, Chris. Get in the live comments. What's the minimum Liverpool, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to do to keep his job next season? I think a good season for us next season would be 4th. And I know that disappoints you because it's a year away and 4th is crap, but I think 4th place next season will be an achievement with how, because I think that things could get worse. I look at that squad and it's a bloody mess. And you can't solve it in one summer, so it could get worse. So I think top 4 is a real achievement. I mean, a lot of people are saying top 4 minimum. I don't. I think if he finishes 5th or 6th next year, he won't be sacked because I think that's realistic. I think that could happen. What would get him the sack? I would think anything lower than 8th and he'll be sacked. Yeah. I don't think he'd get sacked if he got 7th. I think it'd be close. I think if he gets 5th or 6th, he'll be okay for another year. If he gets 4th, the club will be happy. 5th or 6th, they'll be okay with it. 7th, borderline. 8th or lower, sacks. That's what I think. But, hopefully that won't happen. Tory United says, as long as we're not giving Greenwood and Gamers game time, we will be in deep shit. Playing the youth is better than buying youngsters from other sides. Well, True United, it depends if our youth is good enough. But you quoted a very good player there. Mason Greenwood is a top player. But seriously, what has happened to Angel Gomez? Like we all know about him, but we never see him. Mason Greenwood's been injured. Chong's had a little bit of a go. Angel Gomez is virtually, he virtually never gets any time. I don't know what's happening with Angel Gomez. It's a weird one. And you know what? To be blunt, they're getting to the points in their career where they're not youth anymore, and they become the next Janusai or something like that, and they don't succeed. So big years ahead for them. Pankaj says, how many years will it take for us to win the Premier League? I've got no idea, mate. I'd love to say next year, but I don't think I'd be very surprised if we win the title in the next 2 years. I think part of me wants to say 3, but 3 is a lot can happen in 3 years. You look at Klopp, this is his 3rd year, and they've nearly won the league. So 3 years, if everything goes to plan, you could win the league, but I would say 2. We're not going to win the league for the next 2 years. No, unfortunately. It's sad, isn't it? Koulibaly and Bailly partnership, says Exposed Tube. Bailly will never be fit. He will never be fit. It's sad, but if you watch Eric Bailly playing at centre-back, you'll understand why he's injured so much. I don't think he's an injury-prone player. I just think the way he plays football, he will always be injured because he's reckless with his body. He throws it around into stupid positions, and that's why he gets injured so much. And the older he gets, the more injuries he'll get. Angel got hurt, stunted his growth, says Zachary Purvis. And Mata and Lingard are blocking Gomez, says Paul Adams. Well, yeah, look, I'm not happy that they want Mata to stay. I will not put personality or how I feel about a player above what's best for the club, and I'd say Angel Gomez is being held back by Juan Mata, and we're going to keep Juan Mata for another year. But there's loads of reasons to move Juan Mata on. Ultimately, I think we're keeping Juan Mata because it's cheaper to do it. It's cheaper to keep Mata, and I think it shows the big problem at Manchester United is that, as I say, Man City will go and spend money on top of a squad that's virtually perfect, and they'll still go and spend money. Liverpool will go and spend money on top of a squad that's very, very good. United have a crap squad, and we're scrapping around to begging people to stay. You know, that's the bottom line, isn't it? You don't need to talk about anything else. The reality is, we're begging the crap to stay, and we're miles behind everybody else. Don't need to say any more than that, do we? Philip Richardson says, "Hi Mark, do you think a player like Delafeu, who wants to prove something at a top team, is a player we should target?" Borderline, mate, really. I don't think we should be taking risks if we can. I think we need to bring in quality, and there are better quality players than Delafeu out there. He could be a good signing, but I've got to be honest, people like him and Richarlison, they don't surprise me and they don't really excite me. They could be good, but they're not going to excite me. I've got to be honest, they're not. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Remember, if you want to get your United Stand FC kits, you can get them, the link in the video description. I'm playing tomorrow, so we need a little bit of an early night tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. Get your comments in below. I would absolutely love Thomas Partey, Sean Murray. I would love him to come to United, and he would surprise me because getting any player out of Atletico Madrid surprises me. So he would be on the surprise list, and I'd be pleasantly surprised by that. Please do drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and get your comments in below. We've spoken about some important things tonight. How do you read that surprise me thing? What sort of signings would surprise you? Get your comments in below. And would Bale surprise you really? Or are there better? Or just answer the question, I suppose. Thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you tomorrow, and have a good start to your weekend. And I really enjoyed the show, and we had a good conversation, didn't we? And we've just had a final super chat come in from Simon Helden. He says, "If we have a valuable option to Mata in Gomez, then how is it cheaper to keep Mata than sell him and get some value?" Exactly, but we can't sell him because he's out of contract, so we can't get a fee. Speak to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.